Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm going to show you guys today how to properly jack up your slammed E46 3 Series. It is the same way on E36, E30, and I think it is the same way on E90's 3 Series. It's the same, pretty much the same method, different jacking, or I'm sorry, same jacking points for 5 Series and 7 Series. I'm going to show you today how to safely prop it up on jack stands. So let's go ahead and get it right into it. But also, I do want to say and encourage use jack stands or axle stands wherever country you're from. You do not want the jack to slip on you and while you're underneath the car. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, the tools you're going to need for this job is some type of low profile jack or your stock BMW 3 Series jack. You'll need a heavy duty jack or a regular floor jack will work, a low profile one. And you will need 2 jack or axle stands depending on what country you're from. Those are mandatory. Do not work on your car with just the jack holding the car up. This right here is just barely fitting under my car, so depending on how low you are, you might need to run up on a block of wood, but I do not. I have a block of wood over there just in case, but I'm going to show you how to do it today without it. First thing you want to do is identify the jacking points or jack pads, some people call them, on the 3 Series. They are these little rubber or whatever, I don't know what this material is made out of, pads. I guess it's plastic pads that are located right under the passenger side door. The back is located right underneath the driver's side door. I'm sorry, the rear passenger side door. On the passenger, driver's side is the same thing also. What you want to do is go ahead and take your low profile jack or your regular stock BMW jack, because it is meant to get underneath of really low cars, and you want to get it directly in the middle where it's going to jack up onto that, just like that, and you want to start winding it up. Alright, we're going to speed it up here a little bit, just to get through the video a little bit. It's just me curling the stock BMW jack up. Alright, underneath your car, you're gonna have a little jacking point right there. I'm sorry, I was focusing on the right thing. It's this little circle thing right here. You'll see it. I think on the 330 CIs they might be square. I can't remember. Comment if I am wrong, but this is your jacking point underneath the front of the engine, right beneath. I'm sorry, behind your rack and pinion, and in front of your oil pan, right there. If you're getting underneath your car to change your oil, it is right there. Your drain plug, it is right there. But yours might look a little bit different because you might have a plastic skid plate on, which is mine is right there. But I'm just showing you to where the jacking point is underneath your car. So this little circle is where you're going to place your jack and jack up on. Once you have your jack stands out, you want to go ahead and place them underneath the car, exactly where the jacking point is for this car. So once you're jacking it up in the front, you can put them on the control arms if you want. I don't like to because I heard it can damage your control arm, so I just put them on the jacking pads. Remember, you're not jacking on the jacking pad, so if you are jacking on the jacking pad, then yes, you will need to put them under the control arms. But for now, I'm going to put them underneath. And while you're lowering the car, you do want to check periodically to make sure these that you're going to line up with the jack stand or the axle stands, depending on where you're from. Same thing over there, and after that you can lower the car down and you will see that you are done. Alright, the procedure to dropping your car down, guys, is pretty much the exact same, just in reverse. What you want to do, you're going to slowly let down the jack, pretty much almost all the way down, and then you're going to take your stock BMW jack onto the side and you're going to start coiling it up, pretty much just like that. Alright, you'll see right here, as I'm lowering the car down, I'm going from wheel to wheel. In a second, I should be showing you. What I'm doing, if your car has coilovers, I'm checking for binds. Binds pretty much is where you're just checking to make sure the actual spring is sitting flat on the shock mount or strut mount. I'm sorry, the top of the coilover. Just making sure it's sitting perfectly.
you do not want it to catch in the bind. It will make your ride terrible, and sometimes it can settle in the bind and it will make a loud popping noise. It just makes everything better if you just check for binds. I did start getting a bind right here, that's why I'm jacking it back up. You guys are probably wondering why I was jacking back up. So, yeah, I'm just in a little bind right here, so I had to jack it up a little bit and make sure it's set properly.
Then back down here again at your passenger side jack pad. You're gonna take your stock BMW jack again. Make sure it is coiled down, so that way it's not wasting any time. You take your stock BMW jack, and you are going to coil it up until it locks in place, or until make sure it is in the right spot. I have jacked this car up and it has slipped on me because it is not in the right spot. So make sure it's dead in the middle, like right there how it is. You're gonna coil it up. You're gonna coil it up just enough. And coil it up just enough so you can get the jack out from underneath of it. Make sure you're checking the bind again on most likely the rear wheel. I'm sorry, the front passenger side wheel, which is this wheel right here that we're already working on. Jack it up enough to get the jack out, and you can pull the jack out in the front. Alright guys, once you have properly jacked up your slammed E46 3 Series, you can go ahead and get started on your next DIY. Whatever you're doing, simple as oil change, fixing, anything, taking off your tires, rotating tires, whatever it is, go ahead and get started on it. If you are not lower, this is the same procedure. I'm just showing you how to do it when you're cranking up your stock BMW jack or your low profile jack, whichever you're using. Same process if you're running up on a block of wood, really doesn't matter. I cannot stress enough the jack stands. Please use axle or jack stands, whatever you call them. Please use those. I've seen and heard about jacks falling all the time. Also, I do want to point out, if you're doing a oil change, I would say a regular oil change, make sure that you have your car up high enough so you can get out the way when your oil is coming down, so the car's oil is not high, not coming all over you. Same thing with cooling and power steering changes, all that. That's pretty much about it. Once you take the skid plate off, which is those 5 screws depending on what kind of car you have, just take that off. You get underneath of it, you're good. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time on the DIY Forum.